Well, it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm up because I can't sleep. I've actually been up for about an hour and a half now, having coffee and looking at things. You know what? I make videos always trying to put on this happy face, but I actually am haunted often by what I see happening in the world, specifically in the U.S., and we're in really bad shape. Cycles happen all the time. Things rise and fall. Think of history. It's not going to change. Nothing is going to change the fact that things move in cycles. It can't. That would violate the laws of the universe. Even the universe itself is in a cycle, just one big one. But within that, everything moves in smaller and smaller cycles. Everything functions that way. What is happening is going to cycle, and we can see it, and we can see how it works. You can see right now the swing, the differences that get bigger and bigger and bigger. People get together and they practice hatred. They build it up. They build their groups. It grows. They practice at it. It tips further and further each time. Whoever is in charge of any group is usually not the one leading that group. They're enabling the group. The group is that person. The group, that person represents the group, what the group think is like. And right now that group is what? They will lie about anything, denial. Oh my God, whatever. It's the craziest thing. Communications are shut down. It's me against you in big, huge groups that aren't thinking right, that aren't seeing things. I know that it is an evolutionary thing, but Christianity helps enable that group. And that's tough because I know what Jesus teaches, and Jesus does not enable that group, but they don't know that. The religion itself was given to them with, here, you just have to worship, so you're good. You know, Pascal's wager, that's what that is, kind of. Pascal's wager, I find to be the most selfish kind of ridiculous thinking. This is very small-minded thinking. Pascal's wager states that people either believe or don't believe in God, and it's probably safer to just go ahead and believe in God, because if you believe in God and in order to get in his good graces, you have to maybe sacrifice a few things here on life, that at least you're safe. If you die and there's a God, you live forever, and if not, well, it was safer to live that way. That's Pascal's wager. And I know people who, we probably all do. I've worked with people that were, I'm a Christian, I never go to church, drink, party. It's like, well, what differentiates you? There are different Christians, though. I also worked with Christians that were not that way at all, that didn't drink, didn't do that, that would pray before every meal, that you could see differences. You realized that Christianity wasn't what was really there. It was what was the person was acting out, believing, or what was behind them. That's what is really there. So as I watch and I analyze and I look at things like that, I have a different idea about God, that I think that if God is there, then it's better to not believe in God. And the reason is this, because I know what Christianity teaches, but I also know what other things teach. So that idea that, the God of Abraham and the way that they've got God pigeonholed, that's a tough thing. That's why they get stuck there. Christianity is the only religion in the world that says all you have to do is believe. You got the 10 Commandments or something like that. There's this idea that there's some rules to follow, but I look and I realize, whatever rules you're following don't include everything that I would include. Yeah, they're following some rules, but I look at them and think, if I was God and I saw people that say, my values are all over the place, but God, I love you, I worship you. And I'm like, okay, you come along. You other people, I don't care about you. I just want you worshiping me. Believing and worshiping is what I care about. Jesus never said, just worship me. I'm here to help you with your sin. Christianity starts off fear-based. guess what? You're born. You're a sinner. It's not your fault. Yeah. I don't find viability in the religion for myself, but I realize that there are 33,000 different denominations and people will use it for their own comfort. But the religion becomes the person. The person doesn't tend to become the religion. Unless they study Jesus, you can grow with it. Christianity is a huge umbrella that permits so much variation because all you have to do is believe that suddenly we've got people out there with good values and people with no values whatsoever, and they are all Christians. When you're dealing with people, you have to look at all of them. And to me, it isn't about what a person believes. It's about how they act and how they are. And if I was to appreciate any God, it would be one that said, I don't care if you believe in me or not. I don't care. I don't want you worshiping me out of fear. I want to see that you're the kind of person that's going to do the right thing no matter what. I want to see the quality and the value of you as a human being without being fearful. Yeah, I'd be okay with a God like that. The first one, that's idol worshiping. I just worship, and my God is going to take me because I believe. Yeah, that's how I think about that Pascal's wager thing. And then that same group of people is actually very adamant about nothing is happening on this planet. There's nothing wrong. We're good. So we're speeding to death at the hands of people that are growing larger and larger, and they don't see reality. And they make decisions based on they're making decisions based on their own personal feelings. Period. They're making their decisions based on personal feelings, but they will use the Bible, this group, to justify. So they've got a mental go around. We're just doing the Lord's work here. God gave us this. We're God's country. We're this. The people don't know where they came from. There's a whole planet here. Doesn't God bless the planet? How big are we? How expansive are we? Everybody loves. Everybody cares. Everybody does that. But do you do it for your tribe or do you do it for humanity? That's the difference. It's not enough to love your friends and family because even your enemy does that. But love your enemy as well and encompass more. They become your friends. For anybody that doesn't know, that is what Jesus taught us, one of the things he said. Who follows that? Love your enemy too? Because whoever made you made everyone. We're not global. Jesus told us to be. Some people see the big picture, some people see their local picture. And the people that see the local picture, they outnumber the people who see the big picture. And they are they're flying this plane as we're heading towards the mountains. Yeah. We're heading to demise at the hands of people who deny science. Why would you say, I'm going to believe in God just in case, but I'm going to not believe in science just in case? What do they accomplish? One of them accomplishes, I am safe because if there's an afterlife, I'll be there. The other one states, I don't have to take responsibility for here now. Sometimes I struggle with my videos because I think, what's the sense? What's the use? And the interest is, there is incredible value in fantasy, whether it is, I don't know, all the people that are doing that, like the civil, the lost civilization kind of stuff, lost technology, aliens, Jesus traveled to Tibet, Thoth was really here. These are big groups of followers going into all kinds of fantasy stuff. You find a reality, there's no sales there. It belongs to everybody. But you got to turn in to see it, and it's not happening very much. Everybody would have to do it. You know what? I have this weird thing going on. I struggle with a lot of enlightened people, the masters that I watch as time goes on, and I've been so like, how can I get there? And eventually you go, oh, I'm happy. I see what's going on. And you keep going and you shoot right through it and you're not happy anymore. And you think, well, how come these guys just sit there and go, Everything is fine. Yes, it's good. You must do this. You must do that. When you can see that it is not okay for humanity, that there are big problems. I don't think enlightenment means you're supposed to sit there and become a passive bowl of jello. I think enlightenment means we're supposed to be happy and work together to create a humanity that functions well for everybody, that would be enlightenment. Personal enlightenment is one thing, but if your personal enlightenment doesn't include a global enlightenment, it's going to be temporary because all of life is. Oh, but there's a beyond, right? We're a part of, yeah. See, supernatural allows people to just put it off. This is urgent. Oh, well. Oh, well. I think once you see it, anybody that's happy and goes, oh, I feel inner peace, is not seeing everything there is to see. You can do that as a theist or as as not. You can do that as just a spiritual seeker and go, yep, I found my peace, I'm good. That's selfish. And let me rephrase that. I think it is, we need to get there. We need to get there. Everybody needs to get there. That's not selfish to get there. It's selfish to get there and then say, I'm good, everything is fine. When actually, if you keep learning, you realize if we want to heal humanity, the problem is still there and it's actually getting bigger. While we are healing, the cancer is growing just as, faster. You know me in data points, I like making comparisons. It helps you see things. What does this sound like? I believe in God. I'm happy. I found enlightenment. I'm happy. Yeah, you see, there's a point we shouldn't be feeling okay because it's not okay. It's not. Think about this for a second. If we were way back in time and we're struggling day to day to survive and eat, who's going to be enlightened? Enlightenment is a product of what we can do mentally, but it's also based on the idea that civilization is such that we have peace, that we have time, that we have plenty, that we're not struggling. If we get to a point where we're struggling again, there's not going to be enlightenment. Enlightenment is, it's a place we want to get to, but there's a base that we have to maintain. And when that base is gone, the enlightenment can't be there either. In fact, what is enlightenment? It is being happy in the moment at that time. That is it. So it can happen anytime you're happy in the moment. But life is very easy for us, and we take it for granted. If we could think of how difficult it might be, we'll be struggling. You're not going to be enlightened if you are looking for food and, yeah. Well, okay. What a downer there, huh? I think we really need to work on being happy now, that is the best thing we can do, and working together in unison to make that work. But there's people that think that way, and that group grows. But there's a larger group that don't think that way that also grows. But since it's a large group and it grows at the same maybe per capita rate, it's growing at an exponential rate. People that think enlightenment is coming about, world enlightenment is underway and whatnot, they're handing out flowers. And I realize I just used the term, the two groups, small group, large group, and I got to be careful with that. We kind of tend to do that. I'm doing the division thing too. What I'm seeing is that there are certain kind of mindsets, certain kind of mentalities, certain kind of something all from around the world in small numbers of people who have a very global outlook. Yet the vast majority of people do not. That's the two groups I was talking about. Obviously, within those groups, there are also subgroups. So, in the large group that is that I'm referring to that isn't on board, there's a lot of tribes in there that are against each other as well. So There are many, many groups, tribes. If you look at it, it's what it looks like. A lot of tribes from around the world. Our tribe is humanity, not our race or our religion or our ideology or our fears or our shames. If I go watch headlines for a little bit, I actually get upset. I have to get away, but it lets you know how bad things are. And but you have to pull away from it to see it. When you're attached to it, it's hard to view it. You're a part of it. Once you pull away from it, the more you pull away from it, the more you can see it. So I realize that not everyone can see it. Well, anyway, I just had to get this off my chest. I don't know why. It's bothersome to me. And to be honest, I had a hard time making this video. It's easy to make videos and create the illusion of something, okay all the time. And everything I've posted, I'm honest about what I post. But this actually is a part that I also, this part needs to come out too. It's fun. I love the videos. I mean, the material, finding what is in there, learning how it works. Yeah, but to what end? This is what I'm doing to occupy the time I have as I move into the winter of my own life. And, well, love one another. I'll see you in the next video.